Hi everyone, I just wanted to go through some algebraic questions here. A lot of the feedback that I got today was, can you do some harder type questions so I know what to do. So I just wanted to put this little video together to just go through a couple of the questions, particularly from the sheets that I'd given you today, just to provide some clarity. Okay, so I just want to go through this particular question here. We've got Alicia has $24 to spend on notebooks. She buys 3 notebooks and has $12 left over. Okay, so the idea of these ABCDs is to assist you in scaffolding your thinking. In other words, think one of these steps at a time. So when you come to a harder question without all of these ABCDs, this is kind of the process that you take every time. So if each notebook costs N dollars, so we can write that straight away. Notebook N. Okay, that's our N dollars. Write an expression for the cost of 3 notebooks. So if 1 is N, that means 3 is 3N, and there is my expression. B. Write an expression to represent how much money she had after buying the 3 notebooks. So how much money she had after buying 3 notebooks? Well, it was the $12 she had left over. So an expression to represent the money she had left over. So we really need the expression to equal $12. Well, she started with $24 and she buys 3 notebooks at whatever the cost is. So it's 24 take away whatever she spent on those notebooks. C. Set the expression, and remember we know it's in all of these are expressions, that means there's no equals. Set the expression equal to the amount she has left over to create an equation. So now is when you just rewrite that expression equals the amount she had left over, which is 12. And last but not least, with D, you simply solve the equation. So, with D, 24 take 3 and equals 12, and this is just our 2-step equation solving. So just moving the page up a little, it will be get rid of the tag along, so subtract 24, subtract 24. Remember, that just cancels the tag along out. The negative 3n gets carried down. Okay, so then we've got 12 subtract 24. Now this is what was happening a lot in class today. A lot of students got really hung up over the fact that, oh no, that's going to go into the negatives. She can't have negative, dollars. Well, we're not finished yet, yeah? So wait till you get to the rest of the answer, and then you're going to assess how reasonable it is. So that, would be negative 12 for now, until we go and divide by the negative 3 coefficient. Divide by negative 3, what you do to one side, you do to the other. N now is a positive 4 and they're dollars. So remember, the whole point was to find out the cost, which was N dollars, and we've got $4. Now these are worded questions, and I've always said worded questions means worded answers. So I would finish with, therefore, the notebooks cost $4 each. Done. Okay, so changing up the questions a little bit, this was the second sheet that I handed to you today. Now, these are significantly more difficult, so I really want you to start thinking with that algebraic mind, okay? So here, it sort of means gone are the days of just trial and error all of the time. There is a time and place for trial and error, but now that we know algebra, we need to start to approach things algebraically. So if you have any sorts of questions like number 5, for example, the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers. Now, I do still want you to make sure that you highlight, okay? We want the sum, and there are 3 consecutive even numbers, yeah? So use that highlighting. Sum, we know, means addition, Okay, so write those sorts of things down for yourself. 3 consecutive. Ooh, what's consecutive mean? Consecutive, one immediately after the other. But the little curveball in this question is we want consecutive even numbers. So that means they've got to be one after the other, but they've all got to be even. So I'm talking about 3 numbers like 2, 4, 6, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. They are all in a row, even numbers, okay? And what this question's saying is when you add them all up, they all equal 150. So we want to figure out what the smallest is. Well, firstly, let's figure out what these numbers are. So they're all even. Whenever you get a question like this, where it's talking about a relationship between the numbers, we always allocate the smallest amount as our variable. In this case, I'm going to allocate the smallest one to x. Okay? So from there, what ends up happening is we've got 3 consecutive even. So as soon as you see consecutive, this should trigger something here. So that means we've got x being the smallest consecutive. Think about the next one in relationship to x. So let's pretend if that was like 2, the next one's going to be 4, the next one's going to be 6. So we could say 2 plus another 2 is going to be the next number. And then 2 plus another 4 is going to be the next number. And it doesn't matter whether that's 22, 24, 26, because it still works. Those 3 little expressions still work for the 3 different numbers. So we want the sum of them equaling 150. So we can actually create a little bit of a number sentence here. So x plus whatever that second number is plus whatever that third number is will equal 150. From here, we actually then need to combine our like terms, simplify down, and equation solve. So we've got an x, an x, an x. That makes 3 of them. We've got a 2 and a 4. That means it's a positive 6. And all of that equals 150. Okay, so we need to subtract 6, and that's going to be 3x equals 144. Moving this up a little bit, so we need to divide by 3, get rid of that, and that's going to equal 48. Absolutely, you can go and do your check there, but we go back to the question, and it says, what is the smallest of the 3 numbers? You can say, therefore, the smallest of the 3 numbers equals 48. Okay, so you'd write your full therefore statement there. Okay, so just be aware of that. The last little tip I'm going to give you is whenever you have a question like number 6 here, so the length of a football field is 30 meters more than its width. Okay, I want you to actually draw it. If its width is W and its length is 30 meters more, then it's, W, nearly changed the variable, W plus 30. So you're going to work it out in a similar way that we did with these ones. So keep filling out the diagram. This is going to be a W, this is going to be a W plus 30. Add them all together. The question actually states that they all equal 340, and you can solve it from there. Obviously, you'll highlight the question and you'll utilize all of those techniques, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of explanation to assist you to be able to calculate these harder type problem solving questions. The thing with problem solving is it's not one size fits all, unfortunately. There are lots of different styles, and all it means is we practice. All right, good luck, guys. Ciao for now.